Welcome back, Renegades. Today we have the deck profile for Hannyable in the OP11 meta. All matches and deck profile will be timestamped in the description. If you're enjoying the content, please consider liking, sharing, subscribing. Also, give me a comment. Tell me what you guys think. All right, let's get into it. All right, so here we got some Hannyable from EBO1 in the OP11 meta. Hannyable is a 5k 4-life leader from Impel Down. At the end of your turn, you may return one of your cost 2 or greater Impel Down characters to your hand. Set up to one Dawn card from your Dawn deck is active. So it's kind of like a pseudo ramp style. Helps us replay some cards out with on play effects, as well as putting them back in our hand if we need the counter. All right, so we're running 4 copies of EBO2 Magellan. It's a 3/4 1k counter. Has on play. You can play a 2-cost or lower Impel Down type character card from your hand. So we have some triggers for that with Domino. It's our blocker, 2/2 1k counter. And then we also have the new OP11 Little Sadie. It's a 2/2 with 2k counter on play Dawn 1. If your leader has Impel Down, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost 3 or less. This just helps us kind of tap down blockers. We're running 4 copies of the Sadie from OP11 and then 2 Domino. Another Sadie from OPO2. It's a 3/3 2k counter. On play, you get to play up to one Jailer Beast type character card from your hand, which we are running a good amount of Jailer Beast. 4 copies here. 4 copies of Hannyable from OPO2. It's a Searcher. It's a 1/2 1k counter. On play, look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Reveal up to one purple Impel Down type card other than Hannyable. Add it to your hand. The rest of the bottom of your deck in any order. So it does do a lot of good searches here. There's one other Hannyable in the deck, so it won't find that. But for the most part, it finds pretty much everything except for a couple cards. Running 4 copies of Mini Koala. Impel Down / Jailer Beast. It's a 4/5 1k counter. It's our blocker. And then on KO, if our leader has Impel Down, we get to add a Dawn from our Dawn deck rested. So a little way to ramp again. 4 copies of Minotaur. It's a 4/5 1k counter with double attack. Impel Down / Jailer Beast. And on KO, if your leader has Impel Down, you get to ramp a Dawn rested. A lot of the Impel Down Jailer Beasts have this kind of effect. Mini Zebra, we're 4/5 1k counter, running 4 copies. It's an Impel Down Jailer Beast with Banish. And on KO, if your leader has Impel Down, you get to ramp a Dawn rested. 4 copies there. Just so we have some targets. They're all lethal bodies, and Sadie can cheat them out. We are running 4 copies of Mino Rhinoceros. It's Impel Down Jailer Beast. It's a 3/5 with no counter. It has on KO, if your leader has Impel Down type, you get to draw 2 and discard 1 from your hand. So a little filtering, helping us get rid of cards out of hand that are no longer useful in the matchup, digging for cards we may need. Top end here, we got 2 copies of Monkey D. Luffy from OPO9. It's a 9/10, no counter. Has on play, you can return 1 or more Dawns from play to your Dawn deck to draw a card, and then it gains Rush. So with us being able to ramp ahead of schedule, this just Dawn minusing 1 to draw a card and give him Rush is not a bad investment. So 2 copies there. We already went over Sadie from OP11. We have Cell Death from OP11. It's just a big vanilla 6/8 1k counter. Has the Impel Down type. Nothing really fancy to say about it. But if your opponents are running the big top end, it helps compete a little bit with it. We have Hannyable from OP11, Impel Down. It's a 5/5 1k counter. It is additional blocker for us. And on play, if your leader has Impel Down type, you can play 1 Impel Down type character with a cost 3 or less from your hand. So we like to go this Hannyable into the Sadie from O2, which allows us to play another Jailer Beast. So realistically, for 5, we can get 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 worth of Dawn play out of this card, which is really good. We can play double blocker if we need to. We can establish the Banish or Double Strike. Running 4 copies of Hell's Judgment here from OPO2. Has the Impel Down. It's a 2-drop counter. Dawn 1. Give up to 2 of your opponent's leaders or characters minus 3,000 power during this turn. We try to shut off one of the opponent's attacks, so it's very effective at doing that. It does have the trigger if your opponent has 6 or more Dawn cards. Your opponent returns one of their Dawn to their Dawn deck. So some of the other ramp decks that care about the amount of Dawn might be able to put them back a turn, but most of the time we're holding this for the counter. We are running 2 copies of Gear 2 from OP11. This is a Straw Hat type card. It's a 1-drop. It has main. You may rest 2 of your Dawn cards if your leader is blue, which it is, because Hannibal is blue-purple. We get to add 1 Dawn from our Dawn deck and rest it, so kind of on theme with the ramping, but also the main reason is the counter. Up to one of your leaders gain 3,000 power during this battle, so just a cheap 1-drop counter for 3k is really good. Some of the cards that I did forget about for some reason, I forgot to add the mini Chihuahua from EBO1. This card is really good. It's a 4/5 no counter, but it has rush. And on KO, if your leader has Impel Down, you get to add Ramp on. So this card easily needs to go into the deck. See, anything else that I might have really forgot about? The Magellan, I don't think Magellan is really feasible at this present time in the meta. With all the ramp decks, putting them behind a Dawn or 2 Dawn isn't really relevant, in my opinion. And it's a 5/6 body with no counter. That's why I kind of ran Saladeth over that, a bigger body, because essentially this Magellan doesn't really have an effect. That matters. 4/6 vanilla. Say, I think we pretty much covered. The events aren't really that good for Impel Down. The stage isn't bad, but we just didn't have room for it. But yeah, overall, this is the Hannyable for OP11. Definitely has room for improvement. This is more of like a mono purple build. All right, let's get some gameplay. Hannyable versus Koby. We're gonna go first. We're gonna get our Dawn and play down our Searcher. We're gonna grab Hell's Judgment and pass the turn over to the opponent. I'm not gonna use the card effect because it needs to be 2 or higher in order to ramp. All right, opponent's gonna play down their Bernu here. It's a Searcher for them. So they got Helmeppo and trash the rest, passing it back over to us. We're just gonna chip in 5 with our leader. They do take this hit. Then we're just going to play down our little Sadie and cheat in the Minotaur. We're going to use the end of the turn, bounce Sadie back, ramp it on. Sadie is really nice for being able to play out and rebounce because it's 2k if needed, but also being able to cheat out our Jailer Beast. Alright, they're going to play down the Kuzan from OP11 and then attack 5 into life with their leader. Going to take that hit. Alright, over to us. So we are at 6 Dawn now. We're going to put 3 on our Minotaur with double attack and just go 8 into 5. So I do take this. I'm assuming they didn't realize that it had double attack. We're just going to play down Sadie, cheat in Mini Koala as a blocker, and go 5 into life. We're going to counter out. We're going to pass turn. Using the effect, Sadie back to hand. Alright, they're going to play down Helmeppo, trashing the Koby, bringing back the Koby. Koby can attack active. They're just going to go right into our blocker, 9 into 5 here. We don't want to give them a 5k worth of counter, but they also use the effect so their leader gets 1,000 power boost for rotation. And now they're going to go 6 into our Minotaur. Going to give them that as well. And then 5 into life here. We're going to counter out. The Minotaur dying did give us an extra Dawn, so... they just did some board control and passing it over to us. The Koby did go to the bottom of the deck at the end of their turn. We're at 10 Dawn already. Let's put 4 on leader. We're just going to pressure a 9k swing. Debating if we want the Helmeppo or the Kuzan. Let's just take the Kuzan. Alright, so we got that out of the way. Now we're going to play Magellan blocker, which allows us to cheat in little Sadie, and then a Jailer Beast as well. End of the turn, Sadie comes back to hand. We didn't get to ramp because we were already at 10 Dawn. I was thinking that we were able to ramp there, so we would have had open Dawn for Hell's Judgment. They're going to play down their Searcher here. So they got a Hibari. That one's pretty good. They're going to play down Sengoku, trashing a couple cards to draw 3. And then they're going to play down Hibari, giving our blocker -2, and they just get the leader's coming in for 5. We're going to counter out. I think Hibari has to attack to get the effect. So they trash their Searcher to give Bernu a plus 1,000. And now Helmeppo's coming in for 7. We take that. They're going to play down Ripper as a blocker, passing it back to us. Let's go 1 on Minotaurus. Go 6 into 5 with the Rhino, forcing a 2k out of hand or the use of their blocker. Alright, there's a 2k out. Let's go 5 into life with leader. Countering again. Alright, we're going to play Luffy down. We're going to return just 1 Dawn so we can draw a card and give it rush. We're going to go 10 into the 7. They're going to use their blocker there. We're just going to pass turn. We're not going to use the card effect. We'll be back up to 10 Dawn on our turn. Yeah, some of these older Impel Down cards, people forget what they do. Alright, so 7 into 5 here with the Hibari. And who they give it to? Koby their leader can attack active. Alright. So they KO'd it. We drew 2 and trashed 1. Alright, so Koby leader going into our blocker here. Let's save this so that way we can actually use the blocker. Because they still have quite a bit of Dawn they haven't used yet. Looks like they have 8 Dawn open still. Alright, so they're going to put 2 on Bernu, making it a lethal swing 5. We're just going to counter. Helmeppo's coming in for 7. We'll take, so they can make Sengoku like a 7k. Alright, they're going to play down the Kuzan here. and then they're gonna play Ripper. All right, establishing a blocker. All right, back over to us. Draw a Dawn. So we can play down little Sadie here to go Dawn 1 and rest her blocker. And then we can go put 4 on leader, pressure a 9K swing. They have 4 cards in hand. So it looks like they're countering out of this. So they have 1 card in hand now. So we're just going to use our Magellan blocker here and go 7. And then we're going to go with Luffy. We're just going to go 10. All right, we got it. Hannibal versus Katakuri. We're going to go first. We're just going to get a Dawn pass turn. They just get their 2 Dawn, passing it back to us. We're at 3 Dawn now. We're going to play down Sadie and put in a Jailer Beast, the Rhino. And we're just going to go 5. They can use their leader effect if they want. Nope, they take the first hit. We'll just pass turn. Use card action, put Sadie back in hand, and ramp a Dawn. Alright, they're going to play down the Oven and go 5 into life using their leader effect to put it up to 6k. We'll just take it. And then Oven's going to rest. And they basically get to name the top of the card and then remove a 3 cost. I do believe that's what happened. So Rhino got KO'd, so we're going to filter a little bit here. Get rid of a Sadeth. Back over to us. Let's put 1 on leader. And we're going to pressure the Oven. Go 6 into 5. Looks like they're going to counter out here. Now we'll play down our 5-drop Magellan into our Sadie, into a Jailer Beast. Passing turn, putting Sadie back in hand, and ramping a Dawn. So we established the Zebra with Banish, a 5k blocker, and ramp the Dawn for 5 Dawn, which isn't bad. Alright, here they're going to put down the Pudding that returns Dawn for them. 2 on leader, pressuring 7. Using leader effect going up to 8k. Let's take that one as well. We did get a gear 2. Alright, 1 on the Oven, going 6. We're going to use our counter here. Back over to us. We're going to play down our Hannibal Searcher here. We're going to grab the little Sadie from OP11. Going to use it, go Dawn 1, resting the Pudding. We want to make sure if they're going to use Dawn effects that they can't capitalize on ramping back up. We're going to go 5 into the Pudding with our leader, forcing a 2k out of hand. Nope, they gave that one to us. And we're going to go 5 with our Zebra into their Oven. We're going to counter to save that one. We're going to play down Sildeth and then use leader effect to put the Sadie back in hand, ramping us a Dawn. They're going to play down the 8-drop Katakuri to blocker, and then they can ready 2 Big Mom Pirates at the end of their turn as well. It's a pretty big body for them. They're going to go into the Zebra with their leader, using leader effect going up to 6k. Let's counter out and save that. We're going to pressure the Zebra with the Oven. We're going to counter out. End of the turn, they were able to ready their Oven. So over to us. We're at 10 Dawn now. We do have the 9-drop Luffy in hand. Let's go 8k with Sildeth first. Take that hit. Debating here. Let's put 1 on the Zebra. We'll go 6 if they want to use their blocker, which they do. Alright, now we're going to drop down the Luffy, using its on play. Dawn 1, drawing a card. Now we have a 10k body. We're going to go into the rested Katakuri blocker. See if they want to give some counter up for that. It looks like they're going to counter out and save it. Then we'll just go 5 into life, forcing a counter or them to use their leader effect. They take that hit, and we'll just pass turn. No real targets, no reason to ramp. They're going to use their Oven to pressure the Zebra again. Debating which, yeah, we're just going to counter and save it. And then the Annas are blockers for them. Going 5 into the Zebra, using leader effect, turning it into a 6k. And we're going to counter. And then they're going to go with Katakuri into our Sildeth, which we're going to counter out and save. And another Katakuri blocker down for them. So they've got 4 blockers on the field that we need to get through. They are low on cards. Alright, back to 10. Let's put 4 on the Zebra, pressuring a 9k. They're just going to probably use up these little blockers here. But we wanted to make sure we went over the big ones. That way they're forced to use the little ones out of the way first. Alright, 7 with our Magellan. Alright, they used the other little blocker. Now we're going to go 6. They're going to use their leader effect to put it up to 6k. They took the hit anyways, which is kind of weird. And now we'll go Sildeth for 8k. Going to use their blocker, counter out. We're going to go Luffy into the rest of Katakuri blocker, a 10 into 8. We did get that one out of the way at least. No reason using card effect. So we'll just pass it over to the opponent. We were able to clear out 3 of their blockers that turn. The Big Mom 10 drop with Rush, big body. Oven's going to come pressure the Zebra. We're going to use, let's use Hell's Judgment. Give the leader -3 and the Katakuri -3. They get the Zebra anyways, but it did weaken their guys a little bit. So they're going to go 2 with their leader, just so they can see what's on top, I guess. Pushing it up to 3. And now the Katakuri blocker is still a 5k body. They're going to go 12k rush into the Cell Death first. Yeah, we can't save it. Then they got a 5k with their blocker. That will save. So they ready 2 at the end of their turn. We do draw another Cell Death here. They only got 1 blocker, 1 life, 3 cards in hand. So that Big Mom can go -5 to give it 2,000 for the turn. So we're going to put 4 on Magellan. And we're going to go 9 into life. Alright, looks like they're using the Big Mom effect here to put it up to 7k for the turn. Did they name they must have named the wrong cost, because they didn't get the power boost. Alright, we're going to go 10 into 5 here. Assuming the blocker. No, we got it. Hannyable versus Blue-Purple Luffy. We're going to go first. We're just going to get our Dawn, pass turn. Opponent gets their Dawn, passing it back to us. We're going to go 8k with leader first. They take that first hit, we'll just pass it over. Opponent's going to play down Bon Clay, ramping a Dawn. And then go 7 into life. We're going to take the first one. Alright, back over to us. 5 Dawn now. Deploy the 5-drop Hannyable into Little Sadie, into the Zebra. Passing turn, using the action to get our Sadie back to hand and ramping a Dawn. Opponent's going to play, looks like God Thread. They got rid of our Hannibal blocker, and they ramped a Dawn. Alright, Bon Clay coming in. Going to copy the Zebra's power, go 5 into life. Let's give him a counter. 7k with leader. Take that one. Alright, over to us. They did leave 2 Dawn open, so we're just going to go 5 into the Bon Clay. Surprisingly, they're going to counter out of that. Okay. Let's play down our Searcher. We're going to grab the Koala so we have another blocker. Let's put 2 on the Zebra. We're going to go 7 into... Let's go into leader. It has Banish, so they need to give us a 2k. Yep. Okay, they're going to counter out. Now we're going to play down our 5-drop Magellan into Sadie, into Koala, using end of turn action to put Sadie back in hand and ramping a Dawn. So we established 2 blockers that turn. Our opponents using their leader effect here. Looks like they get gear 2. And they get to rearrange the top of their deck, which is really good. Alright, now they just start to take the turn to draw cards and Dawn. They're up to 10 Dawn. Gravity Blade. Putting a couple of our blockers at the bottom of the deck. 5 with Bon Clay. We're going to counter. And then I'm going to go 8 into the Zebra. Yeah, save it. Alright, back over to us. They did a pretty good job that turn clearing our blockers out of the way. So we're going to use Hannyable into Bon Clay. They did give it up that time. We're going to put 1 on our Zebra, pressuring 6k, forcing an answer. They're going to counter. We're going to play down the Luffy, going Dawn 1, just to draw us a card. And now we have a 10k rush body. Pressuring life. They do take that hit. And we just pass turn. No reason for card action. So they got a Usahachi with leader effect. I'm going to play the 9-drop Sanji and then Katakuri off the top of the deck. That's really good. And then 6k swing going into the Zebra. Yeah, we're going to save it. That Banish is pretty important. Over to us. We don't really have a lot of options, so let's just pressure a 10k swing with the Luffy into their leader. They still have the blocker. Alright, gear 2, putting it up to 9. And then Sanji countering out. So they have no open Dawn. So let's pressure an 8k. Yeah, let's go 8 into life. They can use their blocker immediately. Countering out. We're going to put 3 on our leader. And we're going to pressure 8 into 6. And they're count. Alright. They must have miscountered somehow, because we did get that hit. So we have 4 Dawn left. Yeah, we're going to play down our blocker. Just pass turn. We're going to use card action to put Zebra back in hand. Just gives us an extra counter. So they get the Luffy, the Rush Luffy from 09. They got some big bodies on field that can pressure a lot of damage. They're going to play down the 9-drop Luffy, using its effect to draw a card. Some big swings. 1 on leader, pressuring 7 into life. We have to take it, or we have a blocker if we want to. We'll take this one. 8k into life. Take that one. So we're at 0 life. We only have 1 blocker. Here comes a Sanji. We're going to counter out here with everything we have. And I got the Rush Luffy, which we have our blocker for. Opponent, do you even have any bricks? LOL. We have a couple. Alright, over to us. They did ready their Katakuri blocker, though. So we're just going to go Let's put 4 on our leader, pressure 9 into life. All right, we got it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.